a responsibility to have, Bill Russell engraved on our jersey. It's just a reminder of everything that he stood for, everything that he used his platform for.
Just honoring him, obviously how much he meant to the Celtics, the game of basketball, and what he meant to this world. I'm honored to be a part of that.
Scal, Eddie House, Amina Smith, and Paul Pierce is in the building for the first game of the regular season. The truth is in the building. And the Celtics, they'll be wearing these City Edition jerseys tonight in this game. They'll also be wearing it 11 times, I believe, this season to honor Bill Russell's 11 titles. I mean, Paul, you like this? This is looking good. Very detail-oriented.
I wish these were around when I played. I love these.
Look, I heard you guys talking. Y'all are like, okay, I want one. Who I need to speak to get one. Don't try to act shy.
I know a guy. I got you guys.
I need a 34 one of these.
I got a 50, a 34. I got you guys, man. I know a guy. I know a guy.
Scal always knows the guy.
Somebody.
And just really quickly, Paul, talk about how important Bill Russell was not only to the Boston Celtics organization, the city of Boston, but also to the entire NBA.
Well, I mean, you got to understand, in the time he played in, for the Boston Celtics, he was a pioneer, engineer. He was everything. He laid the foundation to what the Celtics are as an organization are today, in history, as one of the all-time great franchises. And as an activist off the court, you got to understand how difficult it was for him during those times, not only to thrive in basketball, but handle himself the way he did off the court to set the path for future minorities and blacks in the NBA. And so, my hat's off to him. I'm glad they're able to honor him today. I'm thankful to even having a relationship with him at times when he would come to practice, sit with me and talk to me. And so many things that he's done for the game of basketball for the Boston Celtics, and I'm happy he's getting this honor.
When you being a franchise player at the time, what was it like? Did he pull you aside to just hang in there? Like, what was your interaction with the first couple times meeting them?
He always just kept my spirits high. With that laugh, that infectious laugh that he had every time he'd come in. He'll come in, give you the middle finger and start laughing. and then, because when he first did it to me, I was like, whoa. And then he'll laugh, and so it kind of like brought the tension back down. And there's times when I had one-on-one dinner with him, and he just always kept me positive and always taught me to hang in there and keep doing the things I was doing, and eventually it turned around.
Yeah, 8 of those jerseys will be raffled off tonight, also signed by the current Celtics squad as well, so look out for that in tonight's game. But let's talk about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown entering their primes with this team. They helped lead this team to the NBA Finals last season. And Scal, just why is this the prime time, the right time for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to take them over that hump to win the NBA title?
I would like to ask Paul that.
Yeah.
Like, what were you like? So they went to the finals, they didn't win, but that following year, your confidence and everything was different. Like 2009 was different. How are those guys, how do you feel like they'll handle this next step?
Well, I think it's important for him to understand what they went through and realize and use that to feed them and feed off of that. Be like, look, we're so close. Play with a chip on our shoulder every night, because it's never a guarantee that you'll get back there. But they're young, they're talented. If they can stay healthy and have the right mindset and understand what it took for them to get there, they'll get there again. And like Doc used to always say, don't get bored with the process, because there is a process to get back to that place. If they understand that, they'll be there.
And what is it like as a star player being in your prime? What's the difference between your prime and being young?
Well, you have a great understanding of the game. You're consistent. You know what you need to bring to the game each and every night. You got to understand. I know tonight I would come to the game and drive into the game knowing who I'm playing. I was like, all right, they're going to need my scoring. Tonight, they're going to need my defense and rebounding and passing. Not as much scoring. I think this is a night where, maybe Eddie House or Scal can get off tonight. And so I started to understand those things more to where I have more control of the game.
Eddie, how much do you see that in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, even last season pouring into what we could see this season?
Well, last season, I think that they were knocking on superstardom, knocking on stardom, and saying, hey, look, I'm arriving, guys. I'm arriving, and get to the NBA Finals and then failing. All the fuel for that fire that was building up after losing and seeing the other team celebrate. And in them off-season workouts, I'm saying this, and I'm going to stand on it. I believe that Jaylen Brown, if he plays the way that he has been playing in this preseason, he has a chance to be a guy who will be talked about as an MVP this year. He comes out and gets 12 points in the first quarter, night in and night out. And you don't really got to do too much to get that 25, 27 after that. You know, he's going to get free throws. So I like the way that the game has slowed down for him.
Yeah, when you look at Jaylen Brown's body this year and the way that he's coming out, he looks like a different player, and he was pretty good last year.
Yeah, I mean, the key for them and what I've noticed, they've improved every year. They're finding different ways to get better, to not only improve as individuals, but help their team improve. And you're seeing that in Jaylen. And so I'm happy for these guys' development. If they can continue to develop together and continue to be consistent and play at that superstar level, there's no way they don't win the championship.
Let's take a look at our must-see matchup for tonight between Joel Embiid and Al Horford, the OG on this roster. Tonight's must-see matchup is presented by Zenni. Game-changing prices on high-quality eyewear exclusively at Zenni.com. Joel Embiid's numbers versus the Celtics: 30 points per game, shooting about 50% from the field, 11 rebounds and 4 assists. I see you pointing at something.
Yeah, because
right
we ain't
here,
going to leave him on no island with them numbers on that side over there. That got to be a team effort. Yeah, that got to be a team effort.
A little bit different.
Hey, if you watch, they don't. Embiid don't really like going against Al. Al's about, like, I know he's giving up a lot of weight and Embiid's a stud, but he's about this life when it comes to. Remember, he was in Philly. Embiid came out and said, I want Al Horford. I don't want to go against him. So he got him, and then at that point on, he don't want to mess with him.
Averaging 30.
That's all I'm trying to say.
What you mean?
The numbers are saying something a little bit different.
Al Horford ain't getting those slugs. I'm telling you.
I'm on Embiid. I don't care who's in.
All right, you watch.
If I'm averaging 30
today.
on you.
I don't want to put him on a no. I mean, he's going to have some sort of and work. But, I mean, we can't just leave him by himself and
Why
say.
Not? Al Horford said he got
that.
Hey, I'm with Al. I'm with Al.
Hey,
So that's
That's like saying I beat Scal up every day, but I'm scared of Scal.
No.
Right. So that's Scal. Why would Joel Embiid not want to go up against Al Horford?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Explain that.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what I got to hear.
Hold on. Maybe I misspoke.
Okay,
hold on. Let me clarify this. That ain't no easy matchup for Embiid.
And why is that?
Because when Al Horford knows all the tricks of the trade, he's played them in the past, he's been on his team, and he goes out there and like, I'm going to guard you. Now, it's a little bit different with Rob Williams lurking in the background than not having him. But I'm telling you right now, like, this ain't no mismatch like people think it is. Now, Embiid will do whatever he can to get a different body on him, and he'll go to work. Wait, just watch the game.
Paul is not buying
We finna watch the game, but what I'm saying,
right now,
what I'm saying is I'm all for Al.
Let's just say
we want Al
effort to stop him.
That's what I'm trying to say right there. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
I'm gassing up my guy, man. I'm a big Al Horford fan on Embiid.
Me too.
I'm worried when Al Horford goes to the bench. I'll just say that.
Them numbers didn't look cool. That's all I'm saying.
It don't look cool on paper, but we know that.
That's what he averages. That's his average.
And when you looked at, he averaged 20 more than what Al
No,
averaged.
I'm not worried about Al's numbers, man. I'm just saying, like, Al, he does an all right job on Embiid. Watch him get 3 fouls in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, don't speak too soon. All right, well, rebounding was a problem for the Celtics during the preseason, and we talked about that, Eddie, I think in that game that they played against the Toronto Raptors, how offensive rebounding was an issue in that game. How could that come up as a challenge in this matchup tonight?
Well, because they're big. This team is big.
Yeah.
And, you know, different from Toronto. Toronto's long, athletic, twitchy, and, you know, you got to get. But this team is big. You know, they have size, and not only just Joel Embiid, but they have size across the board. You're going to have to find a body and box out. You're going to have to make sure that you're focusing on that. You can't turn and just look and think that you're going to out-athlete these guys. You're going to have to actually put some wood on them a little bit, box them out, and try to get that rebound.
Hold up. Ennis Cantor guarded him one day, and he dropped 45 on him. And Al Horford didn't play that game. You guys get your numbers right when you do this matchup. I'm telling you.
You still talking about that? We're talking about size and rebounding. What is you talking?
You know Scal don't like to be wrong. Come on now, Scal don't like to be wrong.
We passed that, man.
Run those numbers. I bet you his head-to-head matchup is not as good as you think. But anyway, go ahead. Paul Pierce is here.
I'm saying, well, speaking on the matter about rebounding, man, I mean, like, it has to be a collective effort. The game has changed. It's not really about bigs no more, because when you shoot so many threes, it's a lot of long rebounds. So your guards have to rebound better. The long ones, you have to be faster to the ball. So it has to come from the guys, the Marcus Smarts, Tatum, the Browns. These guys got to get those long rebounds collectively if they want to be a better rebounding team.
Gang rebound.
Yeah. Paul, what's your prediction, your bold prediction for this Celtics team this upcoming season?
I think they're a championship team. I like what they've done in the offseason to acquire Malcolm Brogdon. The key for them was turnovers that hampered them in the finals. They bring in somebody who's a reliable ball handler who can make plays. And so I think this is a finals team, even though you still got Brooklyn, you still got Miami, you still got Milwaukee. This team, I think they learn from their mistakes, and they get over the top this year.
Yeah, you, Vegas, and everybody else here in this building thinking that this Celtics team is going to make a run to the NBA Finals. Am I right? Or yeah, okay, there we go.